Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 31st of January 2023. First month of the year, just about over already. Incredible, isn't it, how time flies? And as we go into February tomorrow, we are pretty much getting to the 3-year anniversary of when the whole lurgy narrative really started ramping up. And many of us have thought from either day one or not too far from day one that the whole thing was a nonsense. And it's just when little things come out and you start adding things together here and there. And one of the things is, you would think if there was a real deadly lurgy sort of knocking around, there sort of 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, all of this time since early 2020, that the doctors and nurses working in all of the hospitals fighting this deadly lurgy would have been at severe risk, wouldn't you? Many of them getting very ill, and unfortunately many of them passing away. After all, we had all of that terminology this time 3 years ago, didn't we? The doctors and nurses fighting on the front line, giving you the impression that their casualty rates must have been so high that it was almost like a soldier, fighting on the front line in their position, wouldn't you? And we were sort of told to treat them as heroes. They were getting free food, allowed to jump the queue at supermarkets, all of this sort of stuff, because they were really the heroes of society. And indeed, we were even told to get out onto our front doorsteps and sort of clap them every was it Tuesday or Thursday night? I don't know, can't remember because I didn't do it, but that is what we were told. So you would think, wouldn't you, given all of that I've just said, the death figures for nurses and doctors would be pretty high, wouldn't you? But here is an article that I found in today's UK Column News, an absolutely excellent site of proper news. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below here for you, and they really are superb, and they have some fantastic articles. And an article today that came out today on the 31st, written by a certain David Tate. He is questioning the whole lurgy narrative, of course, and just for a little bit of fun, you understand, he decided to send in a Freedom of Information request into the Scottish authorities, and this is the reply he got back. So, thank you for your request of 7th of October 2022 under the Freedom of Information Scotland Act 2002. You asked for, can you tell me the total amount of doctors and nurses that have died from the lurgy in Scotland from 2020 to 2022, broken down by individual year and also month if possible? And then we go on to the response to your request. There have been no deaths registered between 2020 and 2022 for doctors or nurses. That's a bit strange, isn't it? Considering we've been going through this so-called lurgy, deadly lurgy, and I think David sums it up really well in what he says. So I discovered that not a single doctor or nurse had died in Scotland involving the lurgy over 3 years of a lurgy-demic. So those working on the front lines, treating the sickest patients, spreading a deadly lurgy, were not dying. Now, it's things like this. Stuff like this is emerging about the lurgy pretty much every day now. Weird things are emerging about the big V, or almost on a daily basis now. And you wonder why people like me have been so skeptical. Well, stuff like this is the reason why. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.